we're very blessed, and we're glad that we were able to save our property. It's tough. There's a lot of those phone calls, a lot of people who have lost their homes.
Wildfires ripped through several parts of the West as the federal government is now offering help to those most affected. And firefighters are worried this season may only get worse. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. We begin tonight in Colorado, where a fast-moving wildfire has forced people from their homes. The Alexander Mountain Fire is burning west of Loveland in the Rocky Mountain foothills. At last check, the fire's burned 3,500 acres and is 0% contained. Mandatory evacuations are in effect for many mountain communities. The Larimer County Sheriff is hopeful that geographic factors will push this fire to the north and away from populated areas. In California, officials say more than 750,000 acres have burned already this year, more than 5 times the 5-year average. In Northern California, crews are making progress on that fire north of Chico. At last check, the Park Fire is 386,000 acres and 18% contained. Nearly 200 homes and other buildings have been destroyed. Today, the Butte County Sheriff's Office lifted some evacuation warnings near Chico as crews make progress on the western half of that fire. Still, officials say there's increased fire activity in the north.
Tehama County, we end up having a significant amount of spot fires that took place. We had resources and crews available, as well as aircraft that were attacking those numerous spot fires. A lot of that area, the fire line was still in rugged and inaccessible terrain to make it very difficult for us to be able to put direct line onto that fire.
The Butte County public health officer has declared a local health emergency in this area because of hazardous materials found in ash and debris from that fire. In the Central Valley, California Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency today in Kern County. The Burrell Fire is part of the SQF Lightning Complex fire that's burning in the Sequoia National Forest. This started back on July 13th, and it's now grown to more than 90,000 acres with 33% containment. Today, Governor Newsom toured the damage and pledged state as well as federal support to help fight the fire.
Progress, obviously, of Mother Nature with these relatively calm winds. It's all relative out here. Mindful those conditions can radically change. But one condition that we maintain is vigilance, and the investment that we've made, historic investment in personnel, the next level cooperation in terms of the mutual aid system. Nothing else like it anywhere in the United States of America.
So far this year, California has seen more than 4,600 separate wildfires. In Oregon, more than 9,500 fire personnel continue working on dozens of wildfires that have started in recent weeks. The Durkee Fire in the eastern part of the state has burned more than 288,000 acres and is 49% contained. Today, the Baker County Sheriff's Office lifted evacuation orders for some portions of the Rye Valley. Authorities are warning people to be careful as they return to their communities. The White House says it's offering federal resources both to help states fight these fires as well as to help people seek shelter and rebuild their communities.
As of July 30th, over 7,000 federal personnel from the U.S. Forest Service and the Department of the Interior are on the ground across California and the Pacific Northwest, helping fight the blaze and keep people safe, including more than 620 personnel assigned to both the Park and Boreal fires in California.
According to the Biden administration, the Department of Defense has deployed 4 C-130 firefighting aircraft. The DoD has also begun training National Guard troops should they be needed to help fight fires. FEMA has also issued grants to help reimburse states for firefighting costs. Turning to politics tonight, and former President Trump's running mate J.D. Vance is holding 2 rallies in Nevada today. The Republican vice presidential nominee focused on the Biden administration's immigration policies while speaking at a high school in Henderson outside of Las Vegas. He called Vice President Kamala Harris the border czar and said that she, quote, owns every failure of the Biden administration.
And if the failed border czar wins, she is not going to stop until every illegal immigrant has the right to vote, which is going to destroy your voice in your own country to make room for people who shouldn't even be here.
A new Bloomberg Morning Consult poll shows Harris leading Nevada by 2 points. Vance has another campaign event in Reno tonight. Last night, Vance was in the San Francisco Bay Area attending a fundraiser that was hosted by BitGo CEO Mike Belshey. Today is primary day in Arizona, and voters have plenty of decisions facing them ahead of the general election in November. One of the key races is who will take over the seat of outgoing independent Senator Kyrsten Sinema. Former news anchor and one-time gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake is vying to secure the Republican nomination for that seat. She's raised more than $10 million, which is 5 times her next closest opponent, Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb. In the Democratic primary for that Senate seat, Congressman Ruben Gallego is running unopposed. There are also 3 congressional districts in Arizona with competitive primary races to keep an eye on. And the polls closed in Arizona just a few minutes ago. Coming up in November, Arizona voters will be weighing in on a variety of issues, including an $18 minimum wage, abortion protections, and border security. Fox 10's Irene Snyder spoke to voters in the Phoenix area about what matters most to them.
Arizonans are flocking to polling places across the state to cast their vote today. We asked them a couple of questions. 1, what do you think is an issue facing Arizona today? And 2, why did you decide to vote?
For myself, I would say the biggest issue is the political divide between left and right, Republicans and Democrats. We always vote. We've never missed a vote since we first could vote. And it was when I was 21, so a long time ago.
Definitely abortion. Abortion is going to be the biggest issue and the biggest issue that swings voters in the primary or the general election in November. I think it's going to bring a lot of people out to vote, and I'm hoping a lot of people that agree with me. We got to do our duty as citizens. Anytime there's an election, I have to come out and vote. I mean, if we're not willing to go out and fight for change, then change is never going to occur.
The border is a freaking mess. Mexicans come crawling across the thing every day. Fentanyl is a problem in the thing. You see it right here. But the biggest thing, it's freedom or fascism.
Realistically, it's probably water, but the acrimony and divisiveness between the 2 parties and the people. There's just no civility anymore. It's a true privilege that I respect and want to continue, and I hope other people vote. Either way, it's necessary to maintain our state and county and government.
One of the biggest things is people just want to make sure their voices are heard by casting their vote. Irene Snyder, Fox 10 News.
Tonight, the Los Angeles Police Department is under fire for 2 videos showing officers using force in separate cases over the past couple of weeks. One shows an officer punching a handcuffed man in the face. The other shows an officer restraining a teenager. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf has more tonight on the scrutiny the LAPD is now facing.
Yo, bro, he ain't doing nothing. Get up off my partner.
New video now being used by Los Angeles police for a use of force investigation.
He's 17.
17-year-old Jeremiah Burge last month on the ground restrained by a police officer.
My son could have been George Floyd at that time. I'm very furious about them choking him.
LAPD tells Fox 11 Newton Division officers were on patrol and pulled up to a car because it was illegally double parked. When they got closer, police claimed those inside were drinking and doing drugs.
You guys are double parked all along this street.
This is when the cell phone video starts.
We not bothering y'all. We ain't doing y'all at all.
Seconds later, something happens off camera. Jeremiah and a police officer come back into frame.
But I got bumper. Hey, watch out.
The 2 wrestling, falling onto the pavement. LAPD points out the teen is wearing an ankle monitor.
Watch out.
It's sad that these kids is being judged or profiled based off their size, colors, tattoos, or neighborhood.
Another incident involving LAPD and Watts also caught on camera.
What did I do?
Alexander Dante Mitchell Sunday punched by a police officer who PD says has since been pulled from field duties pending investigation.
If it hadn't been for the phones, we wouldn't know nothing.
This officer does not deserve to have a badge or a gun. He deserves to have handcuffs put on him. He got medical issues all up on my partner.
LAPD tells Fox 11 2 Newton Division officers from this case were taken to the hospital with injuries. The DA's office has also charged the 17-year-old with 2 counts of battery on a police officer.
If you guys feel that you're so intimidated by these these people out here, get another job.
And that was Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf reporting tonight from Los Angeles. Another court appearance today for the man many in Seattle refer to as Hell on Wheels. Miles Hudson, widely known as the Belltown Hellcat, is accused of repeatedly speeding through downtown Seattle with his car. He posted bail after being arrested yesterday. Hudson was previously slapped with $83,000 in fines for reckless driving in his Hellcat. And today he was trying to convince the court to waive those fines. Hudson argues he was improperly served and that his mother should have been served, not him. But the city says Hudson, who is 21 years of age, is responsible for his car and its modifications.
I will just tell you right now, I think that the evidence would be very slim tonight. But I'm giving Mr. Hudson that opportunity.
The judge says she chose to let Hudson make his argument because he didn't have an attorney during the initial ruling. He's due back in court next month. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, an Oregon sheriff defending her decision not to book an unhoused man into jail after he was arrested for camping on the street. Why she decided not to lock him up and the criticism she's facing. Plus, a new plan to address the housing shortage. How California's superintendent plans to use vacant school sites to increase the supply and improve affordability.
And in weather, here's our live camera from the San Francisco Bay Area. Low clouds and fog back in the picture. We are tracking a warming trend for parts of the west, and we'll have the update coming up.
To Oregon tonight, where the Multnomah County Sheriff is defending her decision not to jail a person who violated Portland's camping ordinance. That measure went into effect on July 1st, and it forbids camping in the public right-of-way, including sidewalks. Violators face a $100 fine or up to a week in jail if they have access to shelter and choose not to accept it. Sheriff Nicole Morrissey O'Donnell said she believes the county should use the correction system, quote, for people who pose a genuine danger to the public. The cleanup continued today on city streets across San Francisco. Workers once again were out clearing homeless encampments at the urging of California Governor Gavin Newsom. The last camper here at one corner actually set her tent up after yesterday's cleanup happened. She got an early morning wake-up call from police officers and homeless assistance staff.
This is one location with the church that often complains about having challenges with the sidewalk being blocked. So first time for her being here, actually, for her report. But it's a challenge to engage her, getting her in the system and actually get her sheltered today.
But you succeeded.
Yes.
Not everyone in the city at City Hall is on board with these sweeps. One city supervisor is arguing that a singular approach to homelessness just won't work. San Francisco Mayor London Breed argues there's room for compassion, while at the same time says she wants to make it so uncomfortable to be homeless in San Francisco that it pushes people to accept the help the city is offering. California's state superintendent is launching a new solution to a statewide problem. The plan calls for the use of vacant school sites to increase the supply of housing. KTVU's Jesse Gary explains how this would work.
This is an opportunity to create more than 2.3 million units of new housing.
Tuesday, via a virtual news conference, State Superintendent of Public Instruction Tony Thurmond launching his plan to use vacant school sites as building blocks for new housing. Despite signs of success, the availability of housing, especially for educators and other middle-class workers, is shrinking.
I've always had a dream of buying a house and living in this community, but I've definitely, now's not the time.
San Jose teacher Renata Sanchez pausing her purchasing hopes due to the explosion in South Bay real estate prices, up 6% year over year, with a median home price now over $2 million.
It's tough for teachers in this area.
Real estate agent Michelle Elliott, showing this $800,000 condo, says a convergence of factors is at play.
We have so many great jobs here in the Valley, and so people need a place to live, and they have, great income. But the issue is that there's just not enough housing for people, so that's why the prices are rising.
Thurman says he wants to capitalize on 75,000 acres of land on school district-owned sites around the state to level out the expense. Specifically, he proposes using local bonds and $500 million annually in state tax credits to build educator housing.
This is a tremendous opportunity to recruit educators, both teachers and classified staff, who are simply being priced out of housing markets.
The San Jose Unified School District is placing a property tax bond measure on the fall ballot. If passed, it would raise $1.15 billion that would be used in part for affordable housing for educators.
I think it's a great idea. I think that here in San Jose Unified, over the past 10 years, we've lost about 10,000 students, but we're still operating with the same number of school facilities.
Sanchez says difficult conversations are needed to balance school and community needs. This, as she's given up on ownership dreams, at least in the short term.
Emotionally, it makes me feel defeated.
The superintendent will convene a panel at a housing summit August 14th to take policy recommendations to accelerate the construction of housing. As for the bond measure here in the South Bay, that will need 50% plus one for passage this fall. In downtown San Jose, Jesse Gary, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Let's talk about our weather across the West as we give you this beautiful live look tonight of the Space Needle in Seattle. You see some clouds off there in the distance. It was interesting. Yesterday, the Pacific Northwest got a rare rainstorm during what is normally the driest part of the year. And we are seeing some cooler conditions in many places all across the West Coast. For more, let's bring in meteorologist Mark Tamayo with what we can expect as we move through the rest of this week.
Hi there, Alex. Yeah, some warming temperatures up in the Pacific Northwest for the rest of the week. A bit of a warming trend, in fact, setting up across a good portion of the West. We'll show you that coming up in a little bit. In terms of fire danger, we're not talking about widespread red flag fire warnings here, but as you can see, all the areas in red out toward portions of Idaho, out toward Utah, parts of Wyoming, we still have elevated fire danger with the pattern setting up. Some of the highs today, triple digits out toward Arizona, Palm Springs, 111 degrees, Sacramento, 94, and Portland, Oregon, 82 degrees. Here's another camera from the Space Needle earlier today, showing you some of that cloud cover linked up with a system that will move on out tomorrow. High today in Seattle of 76 degrees. In the San Francisco Bay Area, this was the scene earlier today, looking out towards San Francisco, and lots of low cloud cover. This eventually cleared out in the afternoon hours, clearing back to near the shoreline. Temperatures in the 60s. And then down in Southern California, they had the marine layer as well, but some more sunshine. This was from the Santa Monica camera. The beach there, temperatures in Los Angeles in the 70s today, 76 degrees. Current numbers out there right now, it is 90 degrees in Denver, Las Vegas 103, San Francisco 61, and Portland still in the warm 80s, the lower 80s. As we kind of scan the satellite this evening, we're going to check out to no major storm systems out there except some lingering cloud cover out toward moving out of Idaho this evening. And then as we check out the maps here down in Arizona, some clouds, some showers moving out of the state, but they will pick up some more clouds in the Wednesday forecast. So here is the plan for tomorrow. Clearing skies for Seattle. It is sunny and hot out toward Denver with temperatures in the 90s, some 80s for Southern California, and it's warm to hot out in the Phoenix area. It's kind of been the constant, but they will have some more clouds in their forecast for tomorrow. So here is the forecast model picking up on those clouds. We'll have to keep an eye on the shower chances in parts of Arizona for tomorrow. And then we have the typical low clouds and fog near portions of the coastline. We have to keep an eye on a pattern change by Thursday and Friday down toward Arizona, Southern California, the Bay Area. We could have some monsoonal moisture move in that will bring in some more clouds and maybe the chance of some thunderstorms. So something we're watching closely over the next few days. You can see the forecast highs for tomorrow. Scottsdale 109, Palmdale in Southern California 102. And San Jose in the Bay Area in the 80s. This is the Phoenix forecast. A hot morning and then a very hot afternoon. So no big changes with the temperature pattern for tomorrow. So over the next 3 days, there's that warming in Seattle, and then we're going to bulk up the cloud cover over the next few days for Southern California and Phoenix, especially as we head toward Thursday and into Friday. We'll have to keep an eye on those monsoon storms that could generate some showers and some thunderstorms, Alex.
Yeah, certainly something to track. Yeah. Mark, thank you. In Southern California, one police department unveiled an environmentally friendly upgrade to its squad cars. South Pasadena Police showed off their new electric fleet of 20 Tesla Cruisers yesterday. In a statement, the city says it made the choice for a variety of reasons, including reducing emissions. The city says it spent $2 million on those cars, but the transition will save about $4,000 per year per cruiser in energy costs, and even more when you count maintenance costs. Coming up tonight on West Coast Wrap, a parade of military ships streaming into Washington's Puget Sound, how service members are helping celebrate Seattle Fleet Week. People in the Seattle area are getting ready for the annual Seafair Fleet Week. The week-long celebration invites the public to meet sailors and guardsmen from the U.S. Navy and the Coast Guard. Today was the parade of ships into Puget Sound. Fox 13's Alejandra Guzman has a look tonight at the pomp and pageantry.
Welcome to our 75th anniversary of Seafair.
A memorable experience for everyone living and visiting the Puget Sound. Fleet Week is one of the original Seafair events. The arrival of these ships and sailors is a cherished tradition going back to 1951.
Thank you to all of our armed services in the United States Navy. Without your continued efforts to make sure that the United States remains the best country on this planet, events like this are not possible.
Our service members play a critical role in national defense, working every day. You'll get to see and experience what they do during the ship tours.
But the real magic is that interaction.
Approximately 5,000 sailors will disembark and join the community to enjoy the dynamic activities at Seafair while sharing a little bit of themselves.
We're poised to do whatever needs to be done forward of this great nation. So while we're back here, being able to show the public what we do, what we're prepared to do, really makes it worthwhile. And it gives us a greater sense of responsibility.
Hoping to inspire future generations like a similar festival did for a Navy commander.
And I got to sit in the cockpit of an Air National Guard A-10. Pretend I was flying it, grab the controls. And that was the moment that I decided what I wanted to do with my life. And I've been very, very lucky that thus far I've been able to do it. And Fleet Week is really about offering the opportunity for other kids to have that very same experience.
Seafair really brings people together. Tuesday's Parade of Ships is just the beginning. The Blue Angels will take to the skies Friday.
It has an amazing lineup of some of the most amazing pilots from every single one of the branches.
And of course, we can't forget about the highly anticipated hydroplane races.
The competition has been fierce, exciting, and for anyone who was paying attention last year, we look forward to continue that tradition here, 75 years at Seafair.
And that was Fox 13's Alejandra Guzman reporting tonight. Finally tonight, an unusual pairing at the Portland Art Museum offers some differing takes on art and design. The museum has a new Impressionist exhibition featuring the best of Claude Monet, Henri Matisse, and other 19th and 20th century European Impressionists. Another exhibit called Future Now highlights innovation and creativity in sneaker design. That includes everything from virtual sneakers to the same Nike shoes that Marty McFly wore in Back to the Future 2. That does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching. Have a great night.